Perfect. Okay, well, again, congratulations. I'm so happy for you guys. This is like the coolest thing ever. And watching the commercial, I was like almost crying. I'm like, this is so good. Can you just tell me your emotions when Frito first approached you about this opportunity?
It was surreal. They called me just a few weeks ago and threw the idea to me, and I jumped on board and said, yes, let's do it. Just crazy to think that our story, our hard work is being presented on the big screen. It's an amazing experience.
Yeah, so okay, wow, that's a really quick turnaround. I mean,
Yes.
did they come out to your farm at all? Obviously, you've worked with them for a long time. How did that whole process
Yeah.
work?
So they used actors in the commercial, obviously, and they actually filmed it in New Zealand, where the crop is growing. So there's like no like potato fields in the stage that they wanted them here in the U.S. So they flew all the actors and everyone out to New Zealand and filmed it there. So and they literally just filmed it like 2 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. I always assumed that things like that have been, produced for months or, a year or something. So,
Yeah.
wow. What was, so they obviously reached out to you. You guys have a long-standing relationship, don't you?
Yes, yes. We've been growing for Frito-Lay since before it was even Frito-Lay. My grandfather grew for them and it was all on a handshake. And so it's just a legacy that's been passed down and we'll keep it going. And it's a great relationship that we have with Frito-Lay. They do such a good job of obviously highlighting the farmers that we're proud to partner with them.
Yeah, for sure. And tell me a little bit. I'm going to get a little more into the commercial and you guys' experience, but I want a little bit. I know that your background, your dad's background in getting the land that you have now is kind of a crazy story. Can you walk me through that again?
Yeah. So he came down to well first our family farm started in Wisconsin, and he came down and needed to collect some money for some seed potatoes that my grandfather had sold. But he never collected the money. He wasn't a good money collector, but he was able to see the light sandy soil that is all along the Mississippi River. And he came back and he told his dad, if we ever have the opportunity, this is where we need to grow potatoes. There's light sandy soil. It's a beautiful area. And I really think there's a lot of opportunities. So eventually, in the mid 70s, they came down and they started in Hanover and then eventually made their way to Savannah and just farming the pockets of sand.
Wow, that's wild. And he said he wasn't a great money collector, but he's obviously a really great farmer. I mean,
Yes.
tell me about I'll get into that, but this commercial, I mean, it walks through like so many stages of life from like being a little girl to a teenager to an adult and that transition of, kind of being the sole person in charge of your farm. How much of this was real? I mean, did you kind of talk to Frito about some of those details?
Yes. So much of it was real. Like when she's a little girl and always wanting to be around her dad, that's how it was growing up. Like if I wanted to see my parents, I had to go to the farm. Like that's where we spent all of our family time. And it wasn't just like his job, it was our way of life. And so if I wanted to see them, that's where I had to be. So I would leave him little notes in the tractors, in the bulk trucks, and his truck. And then as you get into be a teenager, you're like, I don't know if I want to be around my parents as much, but you still have to help out. And so I would still help out in high school. And there's a part in the commercial where the girl shows up in white shoes and the dad just shakes his head. And yes, I had those moments too where I would show up and in shorts or in sandals, and my dad would just look at me and shake his head and turn around, and I knew I had to go change. I got the point. So yes, it's very relatable. Yes.
Wow, I was gonna point that out. I love the part of the white shoes because I
Mm-hmm.
can understand that too. That's something that's probably not gonna go well with working out in the field. So
Right. Right.
wow. Did Frito ask you those questions or were those things that you kind of just offered and were able to relate on?
Yeah, yeah. Frito Lay kind of just came up with them on their own. Like we gave them kind of the gist of, like how I was growing up and middle years, and they took the ball and they like we've worked with them for so long that they know what's going on with us. So yeah.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, now I want to get to the Super Bowl experience itself. I mean, this seemed crazy. Kind of take me through
Yeah.
that whole experience.
Yeah. So we were just honored to have the commercial, and I thought it would end there. And they're like, well, no, we want you to come and actually see the big game and see everything, experience it. And so my family got to come with me, my mom and dad, my two children, my husband. So we got out here on Wednesday in San Francisco, did some sightseeing, and then Sunday is like when everything big happened. We had like a media day that we did with Frito-Lay, PepsiCo. And then we went to the big game with them and sat by different Pepsi representatives and got to watch all the excitement. And they took very good care of us. And the game was so much fun. Just seeing it in person and being there and the experience it all. And it's completely different than farming. So we were definitely in the big city for a day.
Wow. And you guys even wore your bear stuff, didn't you?
Yes, so I have to admit I'm not a Bears fan, but my husband and my children are, and so they represented the Chicago Bears very well yesterday.
That's perfect. I saw that photo and I was like, oh my goodness, that's
Yes,
awesome. So many people can relate to that.
yes.
You might have said this. I was just trying to think while you were talking too. You guys were showing up on the big screen during the game?
We actually were not. They There was talk that it was going to be on the big screen during the third quarter, but it didn't go through with the NFL, so we didn't get to do it. So, but that's okay. We were completely happy with the way that everything with the day went, and like it was such a highlight of our lives going to this game that we were to the full. Like we couldn't expect anything more. We were just fully happy.
Wow, that's incredible. Would you
Yeah.
have ever dreamed that your life would be shown and represented on national TV and your farm too?
No, no, never thought that. And but I'm so happy and feel so blessed that it was because it captured it so well. And we have such a great farm. Like I love everything about our farm, and seeing it on the big screen being captured so well was such an honor.
Wow. I know that this commercial is called The Last Harvest, but
Mhm.
I know your Facebook post said your dad's not off the hook yet. I
No,
mean, helping on the farm,
no.
still does tons, right?
Yes, so he's still the first one there and the last one to leave. He's the heart and soul of the farm, and someday he will pass it on, but it's not happening quite yet. So, and I'm not sure if we'll even have a retirement party. I don't know if he would want one, like how it was depicted in the commercial. That was the only thing because he's such a humble man that I feel like he'll just continue working until his time is done.
For sure. Yeah, I remember I've only had the chance to meet him the one time, but I was like, man, he just seems like the sweetest, coolest, most humble guy. So
Yes,
that's incredible.
yes.
Um, what does it feel like to, I just have a couple more questions here. But what does it feel like? Obviously, this is really about the legacy of farming and passing it down from generation to generation. What does it feel like to be able to do something that, your grandfather started, not even
Yes,
in the same area, but it's just been in your family, been in your
yes.
blood for so long?
Yes, it's an honor. We farm and we starts with the land, and then the land it gives us so much, and that we want to give back to it, and that it's such a highlight for us to be able to be. I'm sorry, I kind of it's so loud here. Um, so it means so much to us to know that that our employees and our hometown and everything that we're able to farm and keep our have our community and our employees behind us, and just be able to have this legacy too that someday hopefully I get to pass down to my children.
Yeah. And just one more question. I know that obviously your farm's being highlighted, but really your relationship between you and your dad too.
Mhm.
Did that make it extra special? What was that like?
Yes, it does. It makes it so special. He's my best friend. He's my rock. We work together every day. Our desks are right across from each other, and so it did it. Growing up, I didn't have a desk, but I would follow him around the fields, follow him through the trucks and the tractors, and just want to be by him. And still to this day, we work so well together that all of our if I have any questions or if I have any ideas, I'm always bouncing things off of him. And so it's such a farming is not just your job, it's a way of life, and it's ingrained in us, and we just it's so special to see that on the commercial capture it so well, and just to see the raw emotions that came from it.
Awesome. Is there anything else I've missed? I think that we covered a lot of stuff. So,
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're
okay.
good. I hope you get some bites out of it.
Oh, so many good things. Too much. I can't even
Okay.
say it all, but this was so wonderful.
Good. When will it air?
Tonight, I think at 6 o'clock, but I'm not 100%. I'll text
Yep.
you, and I'll post it on my Facebook, and I'll share the link with you too. So
Okay. Sounds
yeah,
good. Thank you, Haley.
congrats. Have a safe trip back.
Thank
Bye.
you. Appreciate you. Bye bye.
Bye.